Greeting.
Good morning in Cebuano is maayong buntag.
Okay, greet the person beside you.
Maayong
Maayong buntag. Maayong buntag. Good morning. And now in Filipino, magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga. Good morning. Magandang
Again,
umaga.
in Cebuano,
Maayong buntag.
In Filipino,
Magandang umaga.
In English,
Good morning. All right.
Okay, so for the next part of the program, we will be calling the director of Rising Voices. And Rising Voices is an important component of what Global Voices does. So to explain further what Rising Voices is, let's please welcome Mr. Eddie Avila.
Great. Thank you, Mong, and thank you, Tina. As Mong mentioned, my name is Eddie Avila. I'm the director of Rising Voices. And Rising Voices is a project of Global Voices that is working to support new communities around the world so they could use the internet to tell their stories. And at every summit, we invite some of these projects that we are supporting to come and tell their story. These Rising Voices spotlights allow them to explain a little more about what they're doing, but also allow you to meet them as well. And I'd like to take this time to introduce our next guests. There are two dynamic young women from the country of Kyrgyzstan, and they have a project called Girl Activists of Kyrgyzstan. And they are working with their friends and others who are, facing, challenges within Kyrgyzstan to, reach their aspirations to tell their stories online. And so I'd like to present Dariya and Aishola to come up on stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Aishola Asaiwa. I'm 17 years old.
Hello, I'm Dariya. I'm 16 years old.
We are from Kyrgyzstan, which is located in Central Asia. We have joined Global Voices in June 2014, working by Rising Voices project, which calls Our Stories Ourselves. We are posting our and girls' stories from different regions, cities, and villages from Kyrgyzstan on our blog. We are from 13 to 17 years old who are supporting girls' rights in our country. So now we want to share with you a story of our friend, which shows why we do this and what situation in Kyrgyzstan going now.
Our stories are anonymous, so let's imagine that the name of this girl is Anara. On that time, Anara was 13 years old, and she was an unwished child. Her stepfather insisted to leave her in social center, yes. So Anara spent all her childhood there. Every day she faced bullying at school and beating at social center, and the violence became usual there. One day she escaped, and a few days after that she was kidnapped, and she had an early marriage. She was locked in house. She was raped and beaten, and she was forced to do housework. Actually, she was not a human being. She was a thing for them. So Anara was brave, and she escaped again. Anara was alone, and she had no place to go. She was afraid of social center. She was afraid of her mom, and she was afraid of police. So her friends mostly was men or boys, and it's possible that she was related with criminal persons. So her mom forced her to work. She needed money, and how do you think what she decided to do? So the most important thing that she pretended to be to have a street life more than life in social center. It's even if despite of that social center is the source of food and habitation. Okay, and it tells us that government is not executing their obligations about providing worthy life for children. That means it's important to create new refuges for vulnerable children, which are not based on violence and enforcement. The second problem is that Anara and her mother did not have diversified, complex sexual and reproductive health and rights education. Because we have the culture of uyat. It means shame. Your body is a shame, and you cannot talk about your body, and you cannot know about your body. We have the culture of violence, encouragement of violence. When society says to a boy that you have to be strong to hit back, you are a boy and you have to be a leader, and there is only one way to be a leader, it's a violence. And most important thing for me is that girls in Kyrgyzstan are always on the step lower than boys. And maybe if Anara was a boy, her mom wouldn't have left her alone. So, yeah.
So that time, imagine that Anara was only 15 years old girl. Today, we speak for ourselves, for our friends and sisters who are under the violence, who are humiliated and beaten, kidnapped, and have no safe place to live. Because home is the first place where we getting violence from the people we know. And also, we speak for our peers boys, because gender equality concerns everyone. With hope and little fear, in 2013, we finally opened a club for girls in Kyrgyzstan. And we realized that it was really, truly what we needed, what girls in our Kyrgyzstan needed. It's really important to us and other girls to have a place where we can feel support and understanding, to be safe and violence-free. People react differently, saying as far as this will be discussed, as far will be a problem. But if we will leave it as it's going now, what we can say about future girls' life? We want all teenage girls to be treated equally, not belittled, and not put after boys. The main idea was to be heard by society and show what the situation is going now in our country. So we made a first video which calls "What Girls Are Silent About It," and it led us to make a first step. It is not made stories about non-exist girls in our country, but it's truly our words and the words of girls from different villages of Kyrgyzstan. So we want to show a video, and sorry, I will read subtitles in English. In Kyrgyzstan, many girls do not go to school because they are forced into early marriage. They are locked in the house, forced to do housework, bride kidnapping, beating, raped. I'm offended when guys post on internet that we have to stay at home, while using inventions of women such as the first programming language, internet and Wi-Fi. At school, teachers claim the boys' logic is more developed, and girls cannot study science. I want to become as Spice Woman. Tereshkova is the first woman who traveled to the space alone. And I know that it's possible. We must go to school, which are for us, and read books which are about us. We must go to schools which are for us, or read the books which are about us, sorry. 100,000 women are fighting for our rights and making contribution to society. The state should implement of obligations. It's time to make equal rights to every girl real. After publishing this video to the internet, there were many people who were telling that it's not true and it's only a theater act. Because before it, we have never impressed ourselves. We and these girls were silent about it. To show that we are here, we started collecting our stories ourselves, and with big help with Global Voices and Rising Voices, it became for us possible, and it led us to speak about our problems and show that we have a voice too, that we are here and we are ready to act. So we want to show another video about Girl Ministry, which we did to the International Girls' Day in Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah. Before showing this video, you should know something about Manas. Manas is an epic about a fictitious hero in Kyrgyzstan. So there are people, Manaschi, storytellers, who are reading Manas. Actually, girls and women cannot be a storyteller and at all. Yeah. So one of our friends from our group decided to break this stereotype. 11th of October is the Girls' Day. Today is our day. Girl is a power. We are girls. Our aim is equality, defending our rights, struggling for the world without restrictions, where girls and boys are equal. They tell you must marry early. They tell us dress this way. They decide for us. They do not respect our word and opinion. They violate our rights. Unfortunately, the violence in our world became a usual thing. We are also the part of our society. We are also power of the people. We also contribute to society. We are here today and we are ready to act.
Thank you. And today it's really important for us to represent girls activists of Kyrgyzstan in front of you in Global Voices Summit. So there is our blog, and we want to ask you also support girls' stories and make their voices to be heard. And thank you so much for Rising Voices to support us and make our voices to be heard in society.
Thank you a lot.